I want to talk a little bit about highlights. So highlights of the trip, things that were very memorable for me and that I will always remember. I mean, I'm gonna remember the whole trip, but there were certain things that kind of stood out to me during the trip. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the Rise of Resistance ride, which opened up recently in Hollywood Studios. So first I'm going to talk to you guys about the experience of getting on a boarding group for that, because I got a lot of questions about talking about that experience. For Rise of Resistance, there are no fast passes. It's just not done that way, I guess because it just opened up and they kind of want to do like crowd control about like how people get on it. So the first thing that you have to do is you have to get to Hollywood Studios before park opening. I say before park opening because they actually do let you into the park before the park officially opens. So the day that we went, Hollywood Studios opened at 7 a.m. Me, my husband, and Sophie woke up at 5:30 in the morning. We had to get a lift because the Skyliner wasn't working and the buses weren't working. We had to take matters into our own hands and we had to get a lift. And Lyft is actually very easy to use in the Disney World area. You just use the app and they find you a person. And it took him maybe 10 minutes to get to us. At that time, I think it was like 6:30. We were out on the curb at 6:30. He came by at 6:40. We were waiting in line to get into the park around like 6:45. The line to get into the park was not that long. We didn't take bags, by the way, so we skipped bag check. It took us maybe like 8 minutes to get into the actual park. We were in the park by 6:57, so like right before the park officially opened. So everyone was literally like, I don't know if it's called Hollywood Boulevard. The street right when you get into Hollywood Studios, everyone was there on their phones trying to get a boarding pass. So you go on the app, my Disney Experience app, you hit boarding group, and then you have to obviously connect everybody that is going on the ride and they will give you a boarding group. So at 7 a.m. it opens. At 7:01 we had gotten on boarding group 17, which is amazing. I don't know how that happened. Because they were calling us by boarding group, we were able to get on to the ride fairly early. We got onto the ride around 8:30, like we went into the queue, like when our boarding group was called, and the wait time was not that bad. There was a certain point in the queue that we were on where it was like a 20-minute wait. I don't know what happened. We were just like still for 20 minutes. We weren't moving. And then after that 20-minute wait in that spot, we started moving again, and it was like fairly quickly. Rise of the Resistance ride, I literally have no words. There are point of views on YouTube, so if you are interested to see what the point of views look like, you can definitely search it up. I did film it, but as I looked back on my footage, because I was so mesmerized by what was happening around me, I didn't really capture everything the way that I wanted to, I guess. So I'm not gonna spoil anything because I feel like people that haven't seen it like should not know what it's, I guess, like what happens, because I literally had no idea what the ride was about until I got on it. But there was a certain moment on the ride when I walked through the doors and I just saw something and I was like, holy crap. Like I felt like I was immersed in the movie. So you are walking on this ride. You're not just sitting somewhere. So in the beginning of the ride, you are walking to certain points on the ride and cast members are interacting with you in character. I'm not gonna tell you what exactly it is, but it was amazing just like being a part of that. And then after you've walked through certain aspects of the ride, that's when you sit on something and then you go through whatever it is that you go through. That's all I'm gonna say about that, because again, I don't want to really spoil it for anybody. I was close to spoiling it on my Instagram story and my husband was like, don't spoil it for people, so I will not spoil it for you guys. But it was amazing. It is something that I will forever remember, and if I ever go back to Disney World, I will definitely be sure to make that a priority when I go there. So obviously to get into the Rise of the Resistance, you have to go into Batu, which is the new land that they created in Hollywood Studios. It was amazing. I do have to say though, the first time that I went into it, I couldn't really appreciate it because of the crowds. Like it was insane, and I will talk about the crowds as well. It was absolutely insane in there, so I couldn't really, like, I guess, experience it in all its glory because of the crowds. But other than that, I think they did an amazing job capturing a land in Star Wars. Like, it was just amazing. I did try the blue and green milk.
I thought that was
How does it taste?
no, the door. Yeah. With that line.
It tastes like Fruity Pebbles cereal.
Talk to the camera.
This one's better.
What does it taste like?
I don't know, but it's better. That one tastes like cereal.
Really?
This tastes like
I thought they said one was fruity, one was like literally like milk.
It doesn't taste like milk, but it's good. It tastes like kind of like an icy, like a melted ice popsicle.
So just being in that land and experiencing it for the first time was amazing. Another really big highlight are the character meet and greets that happened during this trip. There were a lot of characters that I felt did an amazing job just kind of like immersing us in the Disney magic. I did meet Ariel a couple of times on this trip, so I feel like Ariel is a really big part of who I am now for some reason. Don't get me wrong, still love Belle, still my favorite princess, still love Beauty and the Beast, but The Little Mermaid right now, it played a really big part in this trip, so I feel like it holds a very big place in my heart now. It did before, but now it's just a lot more. Just because I stayed in like the Little Mermaid section, I met Ariel a couple of times, I had some amazing character experiences with her. There was a time where I met her in my Ariel outfit and my tutu, and she absolutely loved it. And then there was another time where I was wearing Ariel ears, an Ariel bag, and an Ariel tank top that said Triton's daughter, and we kind of like had a conversation about that, and I will put that clip in as well. But basically she was talking about my ears and how amazing they looked, and then she basically said that I could be one of Triton's daughter as long as I added an A to the beginning of my name. So that was like amazing to just experience. So Ariel's not watching this, but I just want to say a very big thank you to Ariel for making me feel special and just for making me feel like a little kid, because that meant a lot. I know sometimes as adults, characters when they meet us, they don't really converse with us because they see our kids with us, but Ariel, for some reason, she was one of the only characters that actually like had a conversation with me, included me in things, and I don't know, I just wanted to say thank you to her. Another character that was very special also was Beast. I did meet Beast at Be Our Guest. Honestly, meeting Beast whenever has been a magical experience for me, but he was really, really cute. He loved my bag, he looked at my ears, my dress, he complimented my dress, he saw the rose. Also a thank you to Beast for making me feel like a princess, because he was amazing as well. Okay, so let's stop talking about my experiences with the characters. Sophie had some amazing experiences with characters. So I mentioned before that she did get upset a couple of times. So we were in the restaurant 1900 Park Fair. She was complaining about her feet, she was crying about them, and Pooh, who we had already met, came back to our table and just started wiping her tears away from her, gave her the biggest hug, would not let her go, just like tried to make her feel good, and like did not leave our table until she was smiling and happy again. So again, these characters, I know that some of you may think it's silly, like why would you meet characters like that, but I definitely do think that it is an important part of our Disney trips because they just make us feel so amazing. And I'm like literally about to get emotional, just like the way that they made Sophie feel. Like every time that she hugged them, they would not let her go, and it was just like, it was just amazing to see them interacting with her and just like having her experience that Disney magic, because I know there are friends that are characters, you guys get what I'm saying, but like she doesn't know that. Like she thinks it's Pooh in front of her, it's Tigger in front of her, and it's just like, I don't know, like that was amazing to me. And I just want to say thank you to Disney for creating those moments with our children, because they watch these characters on TV. Just, it was amazing. She had a really great experience with Buzz as well. He also would not let her go when she hugged him, and it was just amazing. There are still a little bit more highlights that I want to talk about. I was very lucky to meet some amazing people on this trip. I know I said I wasn't gonna make plans to meet up with anybody, and to be honest with you, I really didn't. There were only like last minute things that came up. So I was able to meet Jasem, who is near and dear to my heart. He is also a makeup artist who resides in Florida. He is also an AP pass holder. I was very upset that I wasn't able to take Dana with me on this trip so that she could make me up all the time, because you guys know I am not a makeup person. Most of the time I'm just like in sunglasses. I did try though on this trip to do makeup, and I did buy certain products before my trip to do my makeup and stuff, but obviously it's nothing compared to what Dana would do. So I did contact Jasem, and I asked him if he could do my makeup for me a certain day that I was doing a photo shoot for, and he was kind enough to come to my room at 6 o'clock in the morning, drive all the way there, walk, that crazy walk, and do my makeup for me that day. So like that was an amazing experience. I did have a chance to meet up with him on my own because Hafid, like I said, was not feeling well, my husband, so he gave me the permission to like go off on my own and do things. So there was a night that I met up with Jasem, and we did, I think we did 2 rides together. Again, Journey to the Little Mermaid. So I'm saying like the Little Mermaid plays such a big part of my trip this time around. So we did that together. We rode Haunted Mansion together. He showed me the wedding ring that is inside of the grounds, like on the ride, which was amazing. We got to meet Ariel together. That was amazing as well. I was able to get a couple churros with him. He didn't have the churros. I had like a million. It was just amazing. It was amazing to meet up with someone who understands my love for Disney and like his passion for Disney and his passion for makeup, and just like his whole insight like in life is just so inspiring. And he actually did start up a YouTube channel. So yes, Jasem, I am plugging you in right now. Please go check out his channel. We actually have a collab coming up that he's a part of, so I really do recommend you guys subscribing to him. He is a sweetheart. He's amazing. If you love Disney content, if you love makeup looks, if you just love like a nice, genuine person keeping it real and talking real to you, I definitely do recommend going to subscribe to him and just following him. He's just an amazing human being, and he means the world to me. Thank you, Jasem, so much for just being a part of my Disney trip and making it even more magical. Kisses to you.
An open door. Love is an open door. With you. Till synchronization can have the one explanation. You and I were just meant to be.
So another person that I was able to meet was a subscriber. Like, that's crazy to me. I cannot believe that I actually met a subscriber. So Erica, not Erica Diocampo, this is a different Erica, Erica with a C. She was also visiting Disney World with her family, and we were kind of like talking back and forth during our trip. She would tell me like what she was doing, and then I would tell her what I was doing, and we would like complain about the heat and complain about like the crowd. There was actually a time where I was able to meet up with her, and it was like complete coincidence. We were in Magic Kingdom at the same time, and she told me that she was eating in Pinocchio Haus, the Village Haus, in Magic Kingdom at Fantasyland, and I was walking towards the bathrooms, and she's like, I just saw you, and I was like, what? Where did did you see me? And like literally it was so crazy. She got up, she was having lunch with her family. I gave her a hug. I was able to give her a hug and it was just so amazing. She actually did make me ears as well that she wanted to gift to me during this trip, and I told her she did not have to. She literally brought them all the way from Charleston, which is where she lives, I think. And these were the ears that she made for me, and they are Lady and the Tramp ears. They're super fuzzy. They're so adorable, so cute. And I actually have one other Lady and the Tramp pair of ears, so it's really nice to have another one, and this is a completely different style. The other ones I have are painted. These are like fluffy. There's like spaghetti made out of yarn and like they're tags. So cute. So thank you so much, Erica, for gifting this to me. You did not have to. I have made such amazing, wonderful friends, and Erica is one of them. I do message her daily. She messages me daily. We just talk about our lives, talk about Disney and all this stuff. So it was so amazing to be able to meet someone who actually watches and supports my channel. I really want that to be something that I experience every Disney trip, and I promise you guys the next time that I go to Disney, I will not limit meet and greets, yeah, because I'm like a freaking celebrity. I will not limit meetups. The next time that I'm in Disney, I will be doing it solo, so that way I can actually meet up with a lot more people that time around, because this time around I was with my family. So thank you so much, Erica. It was so nice meeting you. You are an absolute sweetheart. I treasure you so much. Kisses to you as well. I also got to meet the Disney sisters, Hope and Abby. I was so excited to meet these two sweet girls. They have been nothing but sweet to me. They have been amazing. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to really hang out with them. It was just something where they came over to my resort. I spoke to them for maybe 20 minutes and then I had to go because we were going to Hollywood Studios, and they were so kind enough to also gift me stuff, and I of course was not expecting it. So there was a game that they played with me. It was literally like a 2-second game. They were vlogging, and I think it was called 5 questions in 40 seconds, and they asked me 4 questions and I had to answer it, and if I answered them within the 40 seconds I would get a prize. And this is like literally the sweetest thing. They gave me a puzzle piece, right? So I don't know what puzzle piece it is, but it's just like a random one, and it says, "Thank you for being an important piece of our Disney YouTube family." How amazing is that? I just thought that was the sweetest thing ever. And then they put in like a couple of treats as well. It was just very sweet of them to do, and it was amazing to meet them in person and to finally see them. Like, you talk to these people, you watch these people, and then when you finally meet them in person, it's like such a surreal experience. So again, thank you so much, Hope and Abby, for coming all the way over to me in traffic and just spending a couple of minutes with me. That was really amazing, and I cannot wait next time to actually hang out and to spend a whole day in Disney together. Kisses to you as well.
Alright, guess where we are? We're on Art of Animation casually for no reason. Except to meet this one! Hello! And Sophie!
Of course. The star of the show. Go ahead.
So last but certainly not least, another big highlight of the trip was the photo shoot that I had done. And I was able to meet up with Patty, who is the owner of Pixie Cases, if you guys did not know, who is also a professional photographer. So if you are ever in the Disney area, or you're taking a Disney trip with your family and you want to have the most magical photo shoot on the most magical place on earth, I definitely recommend booking Patty. She was kind enough to give me a free session, but the next time that I book her, I am making sure to pay her, because obviously I don't want to take advantage of her. This is her livelihood as well as Pixie Cases. So next time I will be making sure that she gets paid. But if you're interested in her pricing, definitely email her. I will leave her email down below. That way you guys can have a chit chat with her, kind of inquire about what it is that she does. That photo shoot was just amazing. I had so many amazing shots captured. I had a good time. I felt like I was being so silly, but she was like making me feel so comfortable, and she was like so supportive, like, yeah, Rowan, like, you're doing great. You're modeling, like, you're doing it all. And I'm just like, yeah, okay, I'm literally just like smiling, the same old thing. She really did make it like such a good experience. So I definitely do recommend looking into that when you go on your next Disney trip. Thank you, Patty, for doing that, and it was so amazing to spend the day at Magic Kingdom with you. So kisses to you as well.
I'm with Patty, the photographer. We're taking photos.
I'm also your friend.
Oh yeah. of course, you're my friend first, then you're a photographer.
So yeah, so those were some of the big highlights of my trip. Obviously there are so much more, but this video can go on and on. I did want to talk to you guys about the Skyliner. So the Skyliner is basically a ride that you can take, or it's another form of transportation that you can take to Hollywood Studios from Art of Animation and also to Epcot. So no, we do not have a Skyliner that goes to Magic Kingdom, and we don't have a Skyliner that goes to Animal Kingdom. That form of transportation I thought would be kind of annoying, but I actually really enjoyed it. I felt like it was a lot more convenient than the bus, because for the buses you would have to wait for, but the Skyliner is continuous. It's always moving, always moving. It never stopped on us, so that was great. I mean, that would kind of be terrifying if you were like suspended in the air and like you're stopped somewhere, but it didn't stop on us when we were there. So when I went to Hollywood Studios and Epcot, I really did enjoy it because we would get there fairly quick. Like I said, Hollywood Studios is a lot closer to us, so the Skyliner to Hollywood Studios was a lot faster than the one at Epcot. So what happens is it goes from Art of Animation and then it stops at, I guess, like a transition station. You get into another Skyliner which takes you to Hollywood Studios. The one that goes to Epcot stops at the Caribbean Beach Resort and the Riviera Resort, and then it goes to Epcot. The Epcot one took about like 18 minutes, maybe 15-18 minutes to get to the park. I do have to say, it kind of sucked that the Skyliner stopped in the back of Epcot, which is where Paris is in the World Showcase. That might not be a really big deal to some people, but I kind of felt like I kind of missed out on like seeing the big Epcot ball when we walked into Epcot. That was really the only downside to it. Other than that, I thought it was great. It was a great form of transportation. I do have to say also the transportation with the buses did not have a problem with it. Because we are such a big resort, we always had the double bus, which I thought was very smart. So there was never a time where we were in line and wanting to get on the bus and did not get on it. There was never a time for that. Like, we always got on the bus when we were waiting for it. And most of the time we weren't even waiting for it. Like, we would get to like the bus stop and the Magic Kingdom bus would be right there. Or the bus to Animal Kingdom would be right there. So I felt like the transportation was great this time around. I don't have any complaints for it. So I kind of want to talk to you guys a little bit about the restaurants that I went to. So I did have a sit-down restaurant for every day that I was there in Disney, besides when we got there and left. I want to talk about the restaurants that I really loved. So I did mention Be Our Guest. Be Our Guest was hands down amazing. The food was, oh my god, it was so freaking good. I know a lot of people were annoyed because it went from 1 sit-down credit to 2 sit-down credits, but I kind of get it. Like, the experience in itself is amazing. Obviously, you're walking into a restaurant that is set in a beautiful movie, which is Beauty and the Beast. You have the ballroom, the study, the West Wing. So I get it. I get why it became 2 sit-down credits. The food was amazing. I got the steak. I had steak, mashed potatoes, and asparagus. You also do get an appetizer. I had the French onion soup. And also for dessert, oh my god, I'm gonna put a picture of the dessert. The dessert was beautiful and it was so yummy. The best part of that dessert actually was the raspberry macaron that they put on there. Ooh, so good. And then you also get like a chip made out of white chocolate and the gray stuff is in it. The gray stuff was so good. I gobbled that down. I couldn't eat the entire chip cup, but it was also good. It's made out of white chocolate, and then they had like a dark chocolate ball. It was really good. Like, that was an amazing restaurant. And then of course you get to meet Beast afterwards. Maybe I'm biased because it's like one of my favorite Disney movies and I like really love being immersed in it, but I felt like it was a it was so great. I also want to talk about Ohana. So Ohana is a sit-down buffet. They just keep bringing food to you. So good. It was steak, chicken, shrimp. Before they start bringing you that, they bring you like a whole skillet of like chicken wings. They bring salad, bread, noodles, dumplings. Oh my god, just like thinking about that right now like makes my mouth water. Of course at the time like I didn't eat as much as I should have because like I'm so full from the day, but it was so good. I definitely recommend trying Ohana. Garden Grill was another restaurant that was really good. We actually had 2 servings of that. So basically it's also a sit down buffet, so they bring the food to you. It's kind of like a turkey dinner kind of meal. Like there's turkey, there's roast beef, there's mashed potatoes, mac and cheese. Oh my god, veggies. It was so good. We did go to 1900 Park Fair a couple times, and we actually went to it 3 times. Twice for breakfast and once for dinner. I had never done dinner at 1900 Park Fair before. It was a great experience. A lot of people don't like it for some reason because they thought the food is not great. I thought the food was great. I mean, I wasn't complaining about it. There was this butternut squash ravioli. Oh my god, that was so good. I got, I think, 3 servings of that. Like I kept going back to get that because it was so amazing. So if you'd ever go to 1900 Park Fair for dinner, definitely try the ravioli that is made of butternut squash. It was just so good. We did meet the characters of Cinderella. So we met Cinderella, the stepmother, Anastasia, and Drizella. I had an awesome experience with them because I had the Daniel Nicole Cinderella bag, and Anastasia and Drizella got a kick out of it because they were like, oh my god, you like literally amputated our sister. It was hilarious. The breakfast I think is better because, I don't know, I just love breakfast food, and I loved meeting those characters that are there. So you meet Mad Hatter, Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, Alice, and Mary Poppins, and all of them were amazing. Sophie got over the fear of the Mad Hatter. We had like a horrible experience with him before, but this time around he actually did converse with her and like tried to get her on his side, and it was really great. We also tried Tusker House for breakfast. That was amazing as well. I thought the breakfast was really good because it was like different. I think it's in Africa, so they had like a little bit of different dishes than your normal breakfast food, but they did have also like eggs and bacon and all that other stuff. But yeah, the food was really great during this trip. I had a lot of fun like trying new things and eating. I am currently back on keto, but on the trip I was not on keto obviously because I just felt like, why would I pay all this money to eat just meat and protein? I want all the carbs and I want all the sugar. Okay, so I think that's pretty much everything that I wanted to talk about. So I did talk about all the good stuff. Now I kind of want to talk about the negatives of the trip. I think that every trip though does have negatives on it, so I feel like I want to be real with you guys. Like I don't want to say like everything was peach perfect because it wasn't. It really wasn't. There were some things that happened that kind of got us down, but in the end of the day, we had an amazing trip, and that's all that really matters. I did talk about that too. I did talk about the Rise of the Resistance. So 2 things I want to discuss about this. One is when I wore my Kylo Ren outfit, I really wanted to see Kylo. I wanted to take a picture with him, and I just kind of wanted to have my moment with him. Because as you guys know, Kylo Ren is a very big part of my life. I adore him, I love him. When I had wore that outfit, I made it my mission to see him. So the last time that I saw him, he was in the launch bay. This time around, he wasn't for some reason. It was only Darth Vader, Chewbacca, and BB-8. And I kind of like don't understand why they have a meet and greet for BB-8 because he's a droid. Not that I have anything against droids, but that just doesn't make any sense to me. I also did do the card Visa member exclusive meet and greet that you can do also in the launch bay. And last time it was Kylo, so I got to meet him twice. And this time it was Darth Vader. So I was kind of confused because he was like at 2 different places at the same time. So when I saw that, I was like, so I don't get it. Can we not meet Kylo Ren anywhere?
This is the face of someone who is pissed off. So Kylo is not here. There's no meet and greet for him. It's only Darth Vader, Chewbacca, and BB-8. So I'm a little pissed off at that. Like, why? I don't understand why he's not here. Someone please explain this to me because I'm so upset right now. I mean, you can probably tell in my voice, I'm upset.
Whatever, I got over it. I was like, whatever, it is what it is. And then I got back to my room, and then I started getting messages from people saying that Kylo Ren is in Batuu, and he kind of just like walks around the land, and he sometimes does like converse with people. So I was just like, why did no one tell me this? Because if I had known, I would have stuck around in Batuu and would have waited for him to see like if he would come out or not. I don't know, that was just something that really upset me. I was very upset about it. Hopefully next time I go, I will make another Kylo Ren outfit and I can actually meet him. Yeah, so that was something that I didn't really like. That was a negative of my trip. Again, I might sound like a spoiled brat and like, how can that be a negative of your trip, like as a character? But again, I really love him and I wanted to meet him, so that's that. Also, another thing that I want to talk about was the building of the lightsaber.
You guys don't even understand what I've been through because of this damn lightsaber. Like, you guys have no idea.
So my husband had put in his mind that he was going to buy a lightsaber in Savvy's workshop, I think it's called, and that's like where it's basically an experience. You have to book ahead of time and you basically build your own lightsaber. Like, you put all the parts together, you pick the color of your saber, and like it's like this whole big thing. He thought it was going to be an amazing experience, but it wasn't. During his, I guess, experience, as he was building it, there's a part where they go, ignite your lightsabers, and everybody like ignites it together, and my husband's did not light up. And they had to take him to the side, and it kind of like took away from that experience because everybody else is like swishing their light up lightsaber and my husband's like to the side like with a woman up her trying to fix it. So that kind of like took away from it for him, and I felt really bad because my husband is a very big Star Wars fan. He loves Star Wars, and just like having that experience just like did not sit well with him. So fast forward, he comes home, he shows me his lightsaber, and then he notices that something is loose on where you hold it, like the hinge, I guess, and he like kept trying to like play with it and fix it, and like it just wasn't working. So he had done that on Tuesday and he was upset about it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So 4 days of the trip, he's obsessing over this lightsaber. I can tell he's not like there, he's not mentally there with me on the trip because he just kept like thinking about that lightsaber. So finally on Friday, I was like, listen, you need to go back, you need to talk to them, you need to figure something out because this is not okay. Like you're not happy with it, right? You've spent like $240 on this lightsaber, you're not happy with it. So we ended up going to Hollywood Studios that night, the night before we left. And to be honest with you, we wasted 3 hours of our park time on this lightsaber. It happened and I'm moving on from it, but like I was not happy at that time because we were so focused on getting the lightsaber fixed and just like moving on from that like we wasted park time. I had planned to do Fantasmic that night because I hadn't done it in a while, so I really wanted to see it, and we missed out on it because of this lightsaber. We were able to return it, so he had to talk to a manager, and they have actually a non-refund policy. So if you build a lightsaber, they can't refund you. After speaking to the manager and telling her about his experience, so in the end they did give us a refund. So thank you so much, Disney, for that. Disney customer service is always amazing. And he did end up returning it, and he instead bought a ready-made lightsaber from the other shop. So yeah, that was definitely a big negative of the trip. I felt like it could have been avoided if either the experience went well or he just didn't buy one from Savvy's workshop or build one in Savvy's workshop and just bought like a regular one from that shop. The rain was definitely a negative. Like I said, it rained 4 days out of the, out of our 10-day trip. That was kind of annoying, having to wear ponchos, and like my hair, like I would do my hair and then like it would get like wet and frizzy. It wasn't a big negative of the trip, but it definitely did take a toll on us because it just like, it wouldn't stop. Like usually in Florida, it would rain like a little bit or it would drizzle, but it was like pouring torrential rain for hours at a time. So that was definitely a big negative of the trip. The walk to the Little Mermaid room was definitely a negative.
Kind of wanted to show you guys a map of the resort. So Animation Hall, this is where you check in. That's where the restaurant is. And that's like where the pool area's up here. So like right there. So this is Finding Nemo. This is Lion King. And that's the Little Mermaid. Guess which building we're in? We're in number 8. So we have to walk from, where's the bus depot? See this bus depot right here? So we gotta go all the way through here and then to Ariel's room.
Our room is all the way to the back of the end.
Yeah. What do you think of the walk from a 4-year-old's perspective?
Too long.
I do have to say though, the walking back and forth definitely did help with exercise. I was getting a lot of exercise during Disney, so I didn't gain anything, so I guess something did come out of that. But the walk to the Little Mermaid room is absolutely ridiculous. Like, I just don't understand it. Like, it's not convenient for families unless they made like a different bus stop near the Little Mermaid section. Maybe that would have helped out, but just that walk, man, that walk was ridiculous. The crowds were a little bit of a negative as well. We did go during Christmas or after Christmas and during New Year's, so the crowds were a little bit crazy still. We actually did not go to Magic Kingdom during New Year's Eve because we knew it was gonna be crazy. The monorail stopped a couple times when we had to get on it. Those are certain things that kind of can bring negativity to your trip. Obviously, don't let it take over the entire trip, but at the moment, like when you're experiencing it, it's kind of like, damn, that's annoying. But other than that, I don't think anything else really bothered me. Those were really the only things that were bothering me on the trip, and everything else was fine. It was an amazing experience. I will forever remember it. It was so great having to share that with you guys. I look forward to taking more Disney trips and experiencing the magic over and over again. So this is gonna be the last thing that I talk about. I actually was supposed to do the haul this video, but I think I'm gonna do it a separate video because this video is just it's getting way too long, and I don't want it to be too long. It's already long anyway. It's probably already 40 minutes, but I'm gonna do the haul in a separate video. But this is the last thing I want to talk to you guys about. I got a lot of questions about pricing of this trip and how much it cost. So I do kind of want to be transparent about that with you guys because I do want you to understand that Disney trips are expensive. And that's why sometimes I think to myself how other Disney YouTubers are able to go on so many Disney trips throughout the year, because we're only allowed to go, or I mean our means can only allow us to go once every 2 years. And some people can't even go once every 2 years because of the expense of it. A 10-day trip at Art of Animation, 8 park ticket days, because we only got tickets for 8 days because the first day and last day we didn't do a park. Disney dining plan for all 3 of us. Transportation service from the airport to our resort, so the Magical Express, and the airfare for all 3 of us together cost us $7,400. Some of you might think that's a lot. Some of you might be like, yeah, that makes sense. It's Disney. You know, you were there for 10 days. It is what it is. Disney's expensive. Disney is pricey. You just have to really budget yourself. And you know, when you book it, we booked it early on, by the way. We booked it 7 months in advance. So we knew that we had to cut corners and like save up for this trip. With the tips, like at the restaurants and the souvenirs that we bought, it upped our trip to $9,000. So yeah. That's how much our trip costs. I can't really break it down for you, like how, maybe I could, but like right now I don't have the information about that. I can't really break up how much each thing costs. We spent $9,000 in 10 days. What I would really like to know, for those of you who are watching that do go to Disney a lot, I would really like to know how it is that you guys, actually no, that's not really a question to ask, because some people are, you know, they do better. I guess they have like better jobs, they save